Elves for the most part, though there were a few guests of other sorts. Elrond sat in a great chair at the end of the long table upon the dais. And next to him, on the one side, sat Glorfindel, on the other, Gandalf. Frodo looked at them in wonder. Glorfindel was tall and straight. His hair was of shining gold, his face fair and young and fearless and full of joy. On his brow sat wisdom, and in his hand was strength. Elrond was ageless, neither old nor young. His hair was dark as the shadows of twilight, and upon it was set a circlet of silver. Venerable he seemed as a king crowned with many winters, and yet hale as a tried warrior in the fullness of his strength. Next to Frodo on his right sat a dwarf of important appearance, richly dressed. His beard, very long and forked, was white.
Welcome and well met. Glowin at your service.
Frodo Baggins at your service, and your family's. Am I right in guessing that you are the Glowin? One of the 12 companions of the great Thorin Oakenshield?
Quite right. And allow me to congratulate you on your recovery. I wonder greatly what brings 4 hobbits on so long a journey.
I am equally curious to learn what brings so important a dwarf so far from the lonely mountain.
If you have not heard, I think we won't speak yet of that either. Master Elrond will summon us all ere long, I believe, and then we shall hear many things.
At length the feast came to an end. Elrond and Arwen rose and went down the hall, and the company followed them in due order. They came into a further hall. As Elrond entered and went toward the seat prepared for him, elvish minstrels began to make sweet music. Slowly the hall filled, and Frodo looked with delight upon the many fair faces that were gathered together. Suddenly he noticed not far from the further end of the fire a small dark figure seated on a stool with his back propped against a pillar. Beside him on the ground was a drinking cup and some bread. His head seemed sunk in sleep on his breast, and a fold of his dark cloak was drawn over his face. Elrond went forward and stood beside the silent figure.
Awake, little master. Frodo!
Yes, Master Elrond?
Now at last the hour has come that you have wished for, Frodo. Here is a friend that you have long missed.
What's that?
Bilbo! Oh, Bilbo! Oh, how good to see you, Bilbo!
Hello, Frodo, my lad. So you've got here at last.
Well, yes.
I hoped you'd manage it. Well, so all this feasting is in your honor, I hear.
Well...
I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Well, why weren't you there? And why haven't I been allowed to see you before?
Because you were asleep. I've sat by your side with Sam each day. But as for the feast, I don't go in for such things much now. And I had something else to do. I sit and think and make up songs. Time doesn't seem to pass here. It just is. A remarkable place altogether. And fancy that ring of mine causing such a disturbance. It's a pity Gandalf didn't find out more sooner. I could have brought the thing here myself long ago without so much trouble. But they wouldn't let me go back and get it. They seemed to think the enemy was looking high and low for me and would make mincemeat of me if he caught me tuttering about in the wild. Gandalf said, "The ring has passed on, Bilbo. Don't meddle with it again." Odd sort of remark, just like Gandalf. Have you got it here? I should like very much to peep at it again.
Yes, I've got it. Looks the same as it always did. Here, if you must. But no, why should I?
I'm sorry, put it away. Don't adventures ever have an end?
Bilbo!
Ah, there you are, Dunedain.
Strider! You seem to have a lot of names. Why do you call him Dunedain?
The Dunedain, man of the West. Where have you been, my friend? I want your help. Elrond says this song of mine is to be finished before the end of the evening, and I'm stuck.
Oh.
Let's go into the corner and polish it up.
Come then, let me hear it.
It goes something like this. Earendel was a mariner.
Frodo was left to himself for a while and eventually found himself held in a spell. He heard the words of Bilbo's song taking shape with visions of far lands and bright things. The firelit hall became a golden mist above seas of foam that sighed upon the margins of the world.
Begging your pardon, Mr. Frodo, sir. There's a council tomorrow, and you only got up today for the first time.
What? Oh, Sam, yes. Oh, yes, of course.
Next day, Frodo woke early, feeling refreshed and well. He watched the cool sun rise above the far mountains and shine down, slanting through the thin silver mist. The dew upon the yellow leaves was glimmering, and the woven nets of gossamer twinkled on every bush. Sam walked beside him, saying nothing, but sniffing the air and looking every now and again with wonder in his eyes at the great heights in the east. The snow was white upon their peaks. On a seat cut in the stone beside a turn in the path, they came upon Gandalf and Bilbo deep in talk.
Hello, good morning. Feel ready for the great council?
And that's the warning bell for it. Come along now. Both you, Frodo, and Bilbo here are wanted over in the hall where we were last night.
Here, my friends, is the hobbit Frodo, son of Drogo. Few have ever come hither through greater peril or on an errand more urgent. This is Glóin and Glóin's son Gimli. Glorfindel you know. Erestor and Caldor from the Grey Havens. This is Legolas, a messenger from his father, the king of the elves of northern Mirkwood. And here is Boromir, a man from the south. He arrived in the gray of the morning and seeks counsel.